Alright everyone, it's time for the final video before I actually go and vote. I've got to bash on the Democrats a bit here, and this is why fundamentally I'm favoring the Republicans right now. This is why I voted for Trump. This is why I pretty much abandoned them in the wake of first few years of Obama. It was already fairly clear that the Democrats were undergoing a malevolent transformation. I became a Ron Paul Republican, never would have voted for Romney. He's basically the same, as I'll explain. They offer me Hillary Clinton of all people. Who the fuck am I supposed to vote for? Donald Trump's basically a sane business Democrat anyway, but here's the problem. Here's my disdain for the Democrats. It's not because, well, they're far left, they're like commies or something. No, it's because they've transformed into Bush Republicans. And a lot of people aren't willing to admit this, including some people on the right. When they target the Democrats, they're like, no, they're not actually right-leaning. That's not what I'm saying. The Bush Republicans weren't conservatives either. Thankfully, they've largely been swept out of the Republican Party. The Tea Party replaced them with tradcons and evangelicals, which I have reservations about maybe too. That shoved some of the neocons out. Now the Trump populists have come for them, and they're doing an even better job. It's slower, but it's steady progress they're making. The Trump Republicans beat out their challengers for the midterm slots handily. It was like 4-1. So Trump is a lot stronger than people want to reckon with. He's also much more likely to be reelected if he seeks reelection than any of these vapid so-called Democrats actually think. The Democrats, though, are Bush Republicans now. Think about what they stand for. They don't stand for the working and middle class. They're the party of the rich, essentially. They suck down huge amounts of corporate donor cash. Where do you think all the money in the midterms is coming from? Most of that legendary amount of money that the Democrats are getting, it's being freed up by the parties. Where's it coming from into the parties to be freed up for the campaigns? It's coming from corporate donors. Goldman Sachs and Time Warner and AT&T and all of these other companies. It's not coming from grandma's Social Security check. It's not coming from the starving, ramen-eating college kid. On Thanksgiving, the starving, pink-haired college kid takes some packs of ramen and roughly forms them into the shape of a turkey and then, adds a bullion cube, and that's Thanksgiving for them. They're not the ones fucking funding these Democratic campaigns. They don't have anything to fund them with. Americans have less money now than they had 10 years ago, pretty much. They're not the ones funding them. It was Trump that had the grassroots campaign in the last election, Trump and Bernie Sanders. The Democrats aren't the party of Bernie, though. Bernie represents, and I don't like him, I wouldn't have voted for him, but he represents actual leftism. Hillary Clinton didn't. She was getting all of her money from corporations, pro-censorship, corporate censorship, by the way. When people claim to be liberal, and then they say, well, it's good that Facebook shut down this Nazi page or something. You're so screwed up. Somebody stuck a fucking spoon in your head, stirred it around Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom style, and turned your brain into mush. You don't know what you're talking about. You're asking a multi-billion-dollar for-profit corporate entity to determine what kind of political speech is or is not acceptable on platforms that don't just even affect the United States, they affect the whole world to the tune of literally hundreds of millions of active users. I think that's a bad idea. Somehow this makes me a fascist, and it makes them liberal for believing that that's a good idea. Proxy war. Did the Democrats ever once ramble about how Obama should stop his drone war during the entirety of his presidency? I had spent several years protesting insofar as I was able against Bush and his stupidity. The Democrats came, Obama talked a big game about, we don't want to alienate people, we're tired of bombing things, wars for profit, bad idea. He sounded like a peacenik. I'm like, yeah, I'll vote for Obama in 2008, and I did. And I did it. I mean, look at the alternative. John McFucking-Cain, yeah. Would have been a great time if he had been elected. Shit, he had brain cancer probably. Would have had brain cancer in the second term, screwing with his mind too. He would have started to sound more like a Democrat maybe at that point. Oh wait, he already did. Thank goodness, that particular warmonger is gone. Warmongering cocksock is what I called him, I believe. No, I voted for Obama. And then within a year, it's like, hey, do you have any intention of doing things that you said you want to do, like, withdrawing troops from these overseas areas? Like restoring our diplomatic relations. Hey, what about that economy that's collapsing right now? What are you going to do about that? Oh, says Obama, I think I'll give hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars. I'll print them out of thin air. That'll be a great job. And I'll prop up the private banking sector and hyper-regulate them. That'll be a wonderful time. Doing exactly the opposite of what he should have done, which is say, hey, you're going out of business. We'll bail out the investors. We're not going to bail out the bank. Fuck you. Because if your model was good, you wouldn't have this problem. The same should have been true with the automotive manufacturers, and a few of them didn't take the government money, and they recovered too. So you wasted your money giving it to them. And then people said, well, they paid it back. Okay. You inflated the economy by printing the money, causing a long-term economic crisis. You continued with Bush's deficit spending, which, by the way, and this is a bitch I have about Trump, he's continuing the same thing. The fact is that Trump's deregulation is slowly beginning to get to the point where the economy will grow, tax revenue increases, and it becomes a zero-sum game. The hope, I think, is the economy keeps growing at the rate it is, and eventually the deficit begins to decrease. Debt will be rising, but the deficit will start to go down. I happen to agree with that, but short term, he is adding to the deficit. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. As far as Obama, he thought it was a good idea. Oh, you know what? I'll just tax the middle class some more. You see, it wasn't the rich that were paying the taxes. Under the Obama Democrats, the rich have a million tax loopholes. New York Times doesn't pay taxes. Facebook doesn't have to pay much in taxes. Amazon, all these companies offshore, they use tax schemes to avoid paying taxes whenever possible. Can you blame them? If somebody told me, hey, all you have to do is sign this piece of paper and put some funds in an account in a mailbox in Jamaica or something, and you can pay half as much taxes, Sticks, on the money that you make. That's all you have to do. Sign this fucking paper. What do you think I'm gonna fucking do? No, I'm not gonna take that free money that's mine to begin with as the result of my productivity. I'd rather give it to the government to bomb people some more. Are we fucking serious as a society? The Democrats actually think people are stupid enough to think that the Obama tax increases or any of the regulations they imposed harmed any corporation. They get around it. They have armies of lawyers and accountants. Who was hurt? Small town America. Mom and pop stores. Oh, you know, the things that you have in the Rust Belt. Oh, and small towns all over the country. As opposed to big cities, and in some cases, coastal and industrial locations. They have the corporate headquarters and stuff, and the big factories and mills and trading ports and stuff, Los Angeles port stuff. They can take the hit. They don't have a problem. They have the lawyers and accountants. But some little fucking Mr. Twitters or the Yellow Deli or some local business in Rutland or something, a lot of these places really suffered during the recession, and the Democrats were tone deaf. They basically said, hey, if you're complaining, you suck. This is the new norm. Get used to 7+% unemployment. Get used to lower wages. We need to make do with less. No, if you complain, you're a racist, basically. And that's the other thing. They're constantly using identity politics. I seem to remember fondly a time, not that many years ago, a little more than a decade ago now, during the Bush administration, actually. And the Republican Party used to use a thing called identity politics, too. Especially, hey, we're a white Christian nation. Well, they wouldn't say white directly. We're a Christian nation, say no to being gay. Women have certain roles they must fulfill. It sounded a little bit tradcon there. Now, I don't have a problem with that. If someone's like voluntarily, they want to be, in sort of living the kitchen lifestyle, that's fine. But as a matter of public policy, no, the government shouldn't be determining that. They used wedge issues. We're us versus them sort of mentality. The Democrats are the ones doing that now. What's Trump's message? Hey, we're America. We're wonderful. We're going to do what we can for Americans. It's a populist message. Not racist. It's not based on race. Tariq Nasheed, of all people, fucking the other day, tweeting out, hey, why are black people voting for more migration? I don't see that it's ever helped us. I think that it's actually screwing us over. Tariq Nasheed, of all people. Now, I'm still not sure if he's a troll or not, but I mean, the dude's, he's obviously, you look at it, just fucking look at his Twitter. It's legendary. I don't care whether he's a troll. He's the best troll in the world if that's what he's doing. I think he is semi-serious, but I think he's adopting a little bit of nativism there. Honestly, for racial reasons, but I mean, he's not wrong. It is true. And meanwhile, the Democrats are the ones that use wedge issues now. Basically, oh, we're better than these scummy working class people, these dirty low-down people. Oh, they're dirty, the dirty poor. Basically, get used to your fucking poverty and take some food stamps and fucking shut up and vote for us. They talk down to every community they can. They constantly talk about the black community, and they patronize them in such a horrible way. And I use the term community loosely. I don't believe there's like a white community, black community. I see us as Americans. That's the way they refer to themselves as, though. It's like, well, what's good for our largely black neighborhood or our traditionally black town or something? Well, the Democrats' policies aren't. Democrats' policies are what all of those communities have delved into for decades. Has it helped anyone out of poverty? Or has it fucked them over in the end? It fucks them over. I think the Democrats' platform is literally bad for America. And I say this as I voted Obama. I've never been a Republican. I'm not a Republican now. I'm certainly not a conservative. But I can see, fuck it, it's as plain as day. The Democratic Party that had redeeming features 20 years ago was a sensible alternative to the Republicans, could debate them, could offer some policies that made sense. Hey, maybe we don't want our water to be like, fucking raw sewage. Maybe we should invest in some infrastructure project that could pay off in the long term. Maybe we should avoid bombing people. Some good ideas. They don't have those anymore. They don't fucking have a platform. What's their fucking platform? I'm scratching my head. What are they offering me? The only alternative platform they have is we're not the Trump party. We're not Donald Trump's party. We're not the Republicans. We're the other guys. Fucking vote for us. Yeah, we smell like shit, but we smell less. Fucking vote for us. Give us fucking money. That's all the Democrats are offering. No, I'm not going to fucking vote for you. Not until there's a platform. It's a decent platform, and your party leadership doesn't suck. Then I can vote Democrat. I'm not a natural-born Republican MAGA hat wearer or anything like that, but I knew that Trump was going to win. I think the Republicans are going to retain the Senate now. They might retain the House. It's possible. I hope that they do, just to punish the fucking Democratic Party and hopefully knock some sense into them. They need to lose more. I beg all the Democrats out there, punish your party for being led by Nancy Pelosi. Are you fucking crazy? What's going to happen if Nancy Pelosi and Tom Perez are running your party? People who colluded with Hillary Clinton to begin with. If they are running your party and you go up against Trump in 2020, he is going to decimate you. He is going to cripple you for the next decade. You're not going to have another Democratic president for a fucking generation. Generation Z, by the way, is already practically lost to you because all you can do is rant and harangue about how people, you're poor and therefore below us, and he's rich so he should pay more, but we're not actually going to make him pay more. We're going to screw this other person in the middle class. That's what the Democrats stand for. No, we're not going to give you a platform because you would reject it. Just fucking vote for us. You have to vote for us to find out what our platform is. It's a little bit Pelosi-esque now, isn't it? There's a reason for that. It's because they fucking suck as a party. That's about all. Peace out.